Sorry. Yeah, so we will be starting. Just give me few seconds only. Right. So basically, the agenda of this session or this meeting is to check on what exactly you are doing and how is the preparation and how are the interviews going on. I'm expecting that it's 11th Feb. Most of you have appeared for at least one interview or maybe gonna appear for the one in the next few weeks. Right. Right. So, uh, so even if you have, for example, what happens usually is there are 5 to 6 interview calls, GDPI calls, and generally your best interview might not be your uh, best call might not be the first interview, right? So a lot of students sort of remain easy on their prep, thinking that the best interview is not the first one, so they can sort of test themselves in the first interview, right? My suggestion would be to start preparing like you have the best interview call as your first interview. The reason being is that if you give your best for the lowest call, right, the moment you reach to the actual interview of your best call, you would have a good amount of preparation and you would also realize that where you are performing well and where you are not performing well, right? So this self analysis is much important. Why I'm saying this is that, for example, when I was preparing, when I was student like you, so my strategy was something different. So what I focused on was that I knew that these are the areas where I am lacking preparation, or these are the areas where I need more time to revise the stuff. So instead of referring to more coaching materials or instead of attending a lot of sessions, so my agenda was, or my objective was to improve myself. For example, I knew that uh, I am better at XYZ things, but I need to revise more and more current affairs, or I need to learn some facts about India or about my city. So I focus more on that rather than focusing a lot on attending the sessions or being nervous about thinking what would happen if they ask this or what would happen if they ask that thing. Right. So these are the things. Hannah, uh, apart from that, I would say there are 6 to 7 pillars of the GDPA prep, and everyone should have at least good idea about what exactly they are and what exactly they are doing. So a lot of freshers, I have realized that they don't even know what exactly was there in their graduation, right? So this is one of the things that I have realized, that if you are a fresher, why you are not expecting, or why you are so lenient on your preparation that you are not expecting any graduation questions. Recently, I asked one of the freshers, and where I asked him to tell 5 subjects name in the entire graduation degree, and he is currently in his final year. He was not even able to recall the 5 subjects name. So if you are fresher and if you are making this type of blunder, then I think you are in a very wrong position or something like that. A lot of people are describing strength and weakness in a very wrong way. For example, if you are saying that your weakness is that you can't even you are very bad at verbal communication or something like that, don't speak like that or don't tell those things in the interview, because even if you are not good at verbal communication or something, that is like a core skill to the interview or to the whole MBA journey, right? If you are weak at verbal communication or something like that, why would someone prefer you over the others, right? So weakness technically should be something where you are where you are not good, but you are constantly trying to improve that thing, and maybe sound more diplomatic in a way that that might sound strength to someone and might sound weakness to someone. For example, if you are too too much empathetic towards someone. That can be your weakness and that can be someone's strength, right? If you are preparing or if you are working very hard for something and you are sacrificing your sleep or something like that, that can also act as a weakness. For example, if you love someone so much, right? Just a hypothetical example, that can also be your weakness, that can also be your strength. But if you are just saying, if you're just being very true to yourself or to the interviewer, and you are explicitly mentioning your core weaknesses, that means you are showing a dark side of you, right? Interview is more about showing better side of you. Are you getting my point? Right. See, so I have a lot of views on different topics, and I honestly want to give out all those views, especially related to the BLACKI, MDI, SPGen, and all those colleges, because I actually appeared for all those interviews. Right. I have been through that. So I would happy to answer each and every question, whatever you guys are interested in asking. So if you have any questions, put it in the chat box. Right. I will take all the questions one by one. And again, one tip from my side would be interview preparation is not just about how you present or how fluent you are in your verbal, right? It is more about how uh, clear you are in expressing your thoughts and how good you are at the content. For example, a lot of students don't even know about their city and state. Then no matter how much fluently you are speaking, if you are speaking here and there, or if you are speaking unnecessary details, the professors are really good at catching all those details, right? So they don't even require a minute to catch all those details. Hmm. Right. So if you have any doubts, just put it in the chat box. Right. So, sir, I have my interview is on Monday, but I'm still feeling like there is a lot of things to cover. This is making me nervous. So, that's a very great point, I would say, because what happens generally is this happens with everyone. So, with a lot of students, it happens. And even this is like something very natural, right? Even if it is happening to you, or even if it is not happening to you, I feel that it is very logical, natural thing to happen because to be honest, in the 10-minute or 20 minutes interview, the professors can ask anything around you or maybe related to you or maybe unrelated to you also, right? So there is no hard and fast tool through which you can judge or you can predict what they're gonna ask. The best you can do is that first, make a checklist that you know about yourself. You know about HR questions. You know about your city, about your state. You know about your academics. You know about your internships and work experience. You know about your current affairs, right? So, what happens in those situations is that even if they are asking you some unrelated questions, the person who is asking the unrelated questions would already know that he or she is asking the unrelated questions. Apart from testing you on the unrelated stuff, they would obviously ask you the related stuff also. So if you are passing all the checks in the related stuff, but if you are failing on the unrelated stuff, I would say they would not really judge you based on the unrelated stuff. Now, the second point is that you should also be aware for which B school you are appearing. For example, if you're appearing for the CAP calls, they are very keen on they do love asking random questions. So in those type of interviews, you should really be aware about what they are asking. So I am constantly trying to send you messages on the Telegram group, right? The interviews, you can have a look and you can sort of think what they do ask. ABC generally asks logical questions. LKI interviews are short. CAP calls generally ask random questions. So you should also be aware about that also, right? पल्लव भाई सोशली ऑकवर्ड हूँ पीआई ही चाहता है बट जीडी में बोल भी नहीं पाता यार now if you are not able to speak or if you are shy to speak in the GD, the only motivation I can give you is that it would matter to you only, right? And as soon as the GD ends, or no matter how you perform in the GD, no one would remember you, right? So there is no point to shame or to shy, right? Even if you are giving your worst or even if you are giving your best, I would say at least start speaking and start practicing the GD. Practice can make you better at GD, right? I have shared my weakness of inefficient in multitasking. How would I cover up? weakness of inefficient in multitasking. So Sahil, I would say it is more about how logical you sound when you are expressing your weakness in the multitasking, right? So what I would suggest is that whatever you are mentioned in the form, that might not matter a lot, but what you're gonna speak in the interview would matter a lot. So in that case, I would say maybe you can reframe it in this way, sir, that I feel that when I focused on one particular task, my efficiency goes up, my effectiveness goes up, right? And instead of focusing a lot on here and there, I always prefer to focus on one thing, right? Sort of, you can mold your answer in this sense. Sir, I can't form a story about my gap year, right? Truth is, I half-heartedly prepared for UPSC and then other government exam. How to about it? See, these are very, I would say, profile-related questions, right? To answer all these questions, I might need some data about you and who you are, what is your background story. So for these cases, I would say refer to your mentor or refer to in which coaching you are enrolled right now. Those person would be the really good. Is IIM visa good for finance? I really don't know about it. Sir, SPGN marketing interview on 13th have covered marketing topics from PI kit, but how to boost preparation for why marketing? Yusuf, for why marketing, I would say first thing is talk about your experience, right? Talk about your experience. If you have an experience in the proportional strategy or you have done some work in your college societies, first thing is that. Then second thing is why the marketing field excites you, and third thing is why do you want to make a career in the marketing, right? Maybe something excites you, maybe the type of marketing uh, strategies, type of marketing content, right? And have a for the SPGN, I would say have a good knowledge about the domain, right? Specifically marketing and the frameworks of marketing or XYZ thing. Urvashi, no, it might not be possible to share my answers with you. What about Excel? Didn't get. Excel would be the same. I mean, not really a much difference. Sir, I wish somebody told me this before. I was not aware of the subjects, and that's what they asked me about. Yes, Aniket, they do ask me. That's why I also asked in the mock interview. So, in case you want to have a mock interview, you can anyways book a slot with me on the top mate, right? What all points to cover in the tell me about yourself and should we take CV for interview? No need to take CV for the interview. In the tell me about yourself, I would say give a brief introduction about you. It should be 60 to 90 seconds long, starting from your city, state, or your family, then moving your 10th, 12th, then graduation, then what you did in the graduation apart from the academics, then your internship or the work experience, then your extracurriculars, hobbies, and other interest areas. No, no, you can just pay through the top mate and then we can decide mutual time over the WhatsApp, right? Hello, Pallav, saying that my understanding of international relations and geopolitics of business side, how it will be helpful in case discussions as business operate in an inter. Krish, I couldn't understand what you want to say, so please be more specific or more clear. Hi, how to prepare case-based questions. There are no case-based questions, I would say. I don't know what you mean by the case-based questions. And what if I'm unable to think about anything to say? All right. So case-based questions, got your point. So case-based questions is generally they're asking for your views or for your opinions on some type of situation. Those situations are not generally the cases. For example, one famous guys, please message to everyone, not to don't direct message me. Please message everyone. So, for example, a very general question is like there is a train. So, for example, this is a train, right? This is a train. Now, this is the track of the train, right? This is the track of the train, and there are five persons working on this track, and the train is coming. And these persons are deaf, so they can't hear anything, right? And if they keep on working, right, the train will crash onto these persons, and these persons will die. The other choice is that there is some another track also, right? And there is only one person working here. only one person working, and you can divert the train onto this track if you want to. The obvious or the actual track of this train is this one. But if you want to save these five people, you can divert the train into this track, and then the train will kill only one person, right? So now you have to tell me which track you should choose and why would you choose that track. So these are some case-based questions, or there can be some other case also. So these cases generally don't have any definitive answer. These cases are more to test your logical thinking or your structure of thought, right? So generally these are not asked, but in case they ask, if you have good preparation, I don't think that you would have any difficulty in answering those stuff. Guys, please send message to everyone. I am not responding to direct messages. Like if they ask as soon start in the interview, then we can say our Rohit, your statement is very vague, buddy. I mean, I can't understand. Like if they ask as soon start in interview, I can't understand. Please be clear about this. Sir, so and tell me about yourself, just basic things what I did and not the learning that I got from them, right? Yes, yes. So again, what happens in the tell me about yourself is that a lot of students try to mention each and every related detail to the all the specific tasks. So as an interviewer, I'm not there to listen everything around you or what exactly you did. And the tell me about yourself should be restricted to the tell me about yourself only, right? I want to hear about you in the 60 to 90 seconds. If you start mentioning the details of every task, then what would I ask in the further questions, right? So if you just give me some idea about your profile, then I can build my questions on that, right? If you are already giving me all the details related to your profile, then what would I ask in the subsequent questions? So tell me about yourself should be 60 to 90 seconds long only. I hope this is making sense to you, right? Hmm. Yeah, it is not really a story because see, story. I don't think that it should be a story because you can just mention the facts or what you have done in the tell me about yourself, and in the case they ask you about why do you want to do MBA or why this and that, then obviously you should have to relate it to your past experience with the current choices, right? Tanmay, no one can predict that, but yeah, generally they can ask you questions related to the SOP also, and they can ask you questions related to the other stuff also. So anything can be possible when it comes to the Excel, and it's really it's not necessary that they would focus or not focus on uh, SOP. There can be interviews where there is no questions related to the SOP, and there can be interviews where all the questions are related to the SOP only. So again, can't make anything out of that. So if you're generally preparing for the interviews, I don't think that uh, these things should matter to you. But yeah, the questions can be from anything. But mostly it would be related to your profile. Hmm. Christian, yaar, I would say don't say this answer. This is like pure chat GPT answer for sure. And as an interviewer, I do know about professors and I do know about myself. I would not like this answer at all. And I would not like the person who provides me chat GPT answers. Yes, yes. Your first interview is generally about your profile and your domain, and the second interview is mostly sort of chill interview, and uh, Again, chill interview. I don't think ethics and all, but yeah, sort of if you sound logic, again, the criteria is not known to many. So, but as far as the first interview is concerned, GI1 is concerned. So in the GI1, I would say it is more about your uh, domain, your preferred domain. For example, if you want to go for the marketing or something like that, so right, marketing may you should have known about the stuff related to the marketing, which marketing campaign do you like, why or why not, and all those stuff. Mm. Krishan, how can I help you that I think your mentor might help you on this, but see, if you are writing chat GPT stuff, you are not putting effort at all, then don't expect anything from any college also. The rule is simple. If you put effort, you will get the results. Sir, I recently couldn't convert GIM Achievers round interview, although I think I performed well. I didn't get the reason for rejection, still figuring which weakness area to focus. Okay. Rasika, so this happens with a lot of students that they feel that they are good or they have prepared above average to tackle the interviews, but after they see the interview results, the picture seems very different from what they expected. The reason for this is that maybe you have not taken enough mock interviews to take analysis about yourself, because it's very hard to analyze yourself in front of a mirror. The better person who can tell more about you should be the person to whom you are giving your mock interviews, right? So to tackle this, I would suggest you to take 3 4 mock interviews from someone and ask him or her about your weakness or about where you are going wrong. Rohit, so connecting and all thing here, I think this is a part of HR questions. Agar if you're preparing for the HR questions from some coaching or for someone, then obviously, or if you're appearing for the mock, you might have encountered why MBA, or if you haven't, I think you should have prepared about why MBA and how MBA is linked with your past profile and all those stuff. These are very basic questions which you should be aware about. The nervousness is taking over. Never gave an interview before. I think it will show up on my face. Yeah, I think this is the issue with a lot of students. So I would suggest you to take as much mock interviews as you can to at least become confident or to at least be clear about where you are going, why you are going, and to at least remove the fear of being nervous. Hannah, first, it's very important to be confident before entering the interview room. And since all the interviews used to happen in offline mode only, I think the case becomes much serious here, because generally in front of someone we tend to become more nervous. So, and that can make or break you. So please work on that, right? Is it okay to be negative? I kind of talk about negative side of local newspapers. Aniket, depends exactly what you are saying and how you are conveying it, because if you know about the negative side, you should also know about positive side of the newspaper. So maybe read some things about that, because a gentleman would be the person who know both sides of the coin, right? What can I answer when interview is asking why should you select you as a fresh? Sahil, this is very personal, right? You might have done something uh, as a fresher, you might have experience as a fresher, you might feel that you require more knowledge before entering into the corporate world. You might feel that you bring fresh perspective, or what I would suggest is these are very common reasons, but make it more personal, link it with your profile, and that can be done in the HR question sessions. What should be the duration of ideal answer? For the tell me about yourself, it should be 60 to 90 seconds. For the other questions, I think it depends on what type of conversation you are having with the interviewers. How to cross a river full of sharks? What will you use mean, median, mode? Sumer, this is like very, I mean, how would you cross and what type of data would you need? This is very like logical questions. You can answer mean, mode, median, anything, but what matters most is that how you are actually defining the role of mean, mode, median in that particular situation. Sir, should I ask career perspective question? Mayank didn't get you. I couldn't understand your question, what you are trying to ask. Guys, please don't send me your answers here. I can't review the answer as of now. Generally, these questions like how would you cross the river of sharks and all those things, right? So if you ask me to think in some way, uh, how would you calculate mode in this? I can't get you. I mean, if there are ten sharks in the river, what would be the mode? Mode might not be helpful. Mean, how would you calculate? Yeah, sharks would be like 10, 12 or 15. Mean mode median कैसे निकालोगे उसका? I think you need more clarity on the question. Yeah, Yusuf, how can I tell this how to answer this bad topic? Which fictional character would you invite as your roommate and why? I would say maybe these questions are to know more about yourself. For example, if you are mentioning some XYZ character, that means you are more like that character, right? Sir, can I ask career perspective question? I don't understand, Yusuf. Yeah, framework to itna, I don't think framework would matter a lot. Maybe your how logical your reasoning and all those things matters a lot. Swarnim, please message everyone, not direct message. Like start with your fictional character and start telling the reasons. Why would you prefer that? What qualities that character have? बस इतना ही करो. At the interview, what question should we ask? Yeah, it's okay to not ask the question, but in case really if you want to ask some question, maybe you can ask some question related to your profile. Don't technically like ask them ki what should I do in the next 2 months or something. That can be very simple questions in my opinion, and everyone would be asking those type of stuff. But what you can do is that you can prepare something very specific to your profile and the college, and then you can maybe ask some more specific stuff. So I have interest in this area, and if I want to do something in this area, how can I do that? Because your college offers XYZ things in the area. I think I have answered most of the questions which you have. If you have any other questions, you can ask me. Otherwise, we will end the session. But what I would suggest everyone to please join the Telegram channel. Please go through the transcripts of the current year of the past year, and please start booking the mock session. Maybe with me, maybe with some other mentor, wherever you feel that you derive a lot of value. But my only request would be to start mock interviews as soon as possible because if the time starts getting out of the hand, then there would be no comeback. You might miss on your best calls. You might not get chance to get admission. So I don't want anything of that sort to happen with you guys. I really like to see every one of you in some good B school. So please prepare hard. If you haven't started, start early, because I know a lot of students might not have started at all. It's not okay, but still, if you haven't started, there is only one option, that is to start. Right? Nothing else you can do. So go with the best option. Start as soon as possible. Right? How many of you think that you need a lot more preparation than your current level and you haven't done justification to your preparation as of now? How many of you think that you still need to prepare a lot of things and you really haven't given enough time to your GDP prep? Mayank, I would suggest you to not worry about these things at all as of now. After the results, we can discuss all those things, right? But before that, I don't think that you should worry about whether you would want to switch or is it worth to switch. First, let's crack the interviews and then we will see what happens. Make sense? Yeah, no issues. But let's first clear the interviews. Then we will obviously see how it goes. All right, guys, let's end the session. I hope you enjoyed it. Right. Thank you and have a very happy day.